2018 marks a milestone for the Bedford Road Invitational Tournament, as BRIT will be celebrating 50 years of the best high school basketball in Western Canada. And while the tourney has featured teams from New York, Australia, and all across Canada, there's always a strong local contingent of teams taking part as well. And for the first time ever, Saskatoon squads competed for their spots in a trio of games staged in December. Game 1 of the play-in triple-header featured the Aidan Bowman Bears taking on the Marion Graham Falcons, and there were plenty of interested observers taking this one in, including U of S Huskies head coach Barry Rollick, perhaps checking in on one of his recruits, Alex Dewar, who will join his older brother Addison next season. Dewar didn't play a ton after the first half in this one, however, as his Falcons put the game away early. We will pick this one up in the second half, senior Andre Ayad doing it at both ends. He pulls down the rebound on the Bears' miss and then would get the ball back. Makes the nice drive to expand the Falcons' lead. The big man for the Bears, Cole Anderson, did what he could to keep his team in the game. Here he shows he's not just a presence on the inside, but also possesses a shooter's touch, knocking down a three with a hand in his face. But Graham held a 32-point lead heading into the fourth, and of course, these being BRIT games, that meant just 8 minutes remained for the Bears to mount a comeback. Nice play here by Bowman's Jesse Gilbertson to get up and disrupt the pass. That would lead to an easy lay-in. Ben Gaskin became a crowd favorite at last year's BRIT as a grade 9 player, and he continued to shine on the hardwood at Bedford. Here he hits a three-pointer to expand the Falcon lead to 35. And then in the dying moments, the final dagger would come from Julian Suggs as he works his way up top for an open look and hits a three of his own. The final score 70-38 as Marion Graham became the first Saskatoon team to officially join the bracket at BRIT 50, along with the host Bedford Road Redhawks. Dewar ended up with 19 on the night. Ayad added 12, while Anderson had a great game in the loss, tallying 18 for the Bears. On to Game 2, which featured a pair of the city's newer schools, as the St. Joseph Guardians took on the Bethlehem Stars, Bethlehem seeking their first ever appearance in the tournament. It didn't take long to get the scoring going in this one. St. Joe's Daniel Okpoko wins the opening tip, Alan Spoonhunter finds Mason Durham underneath, and the Guardians lead about a second and a half into the game. More nice work here from Durham. He works his way through all sorts of traffic for the lay-in. And then it was Okpoko on the defensive end. He blocks the Jalen Aranda shot and gets it into the hands of Maguire Schwitzer. He feeds Keegan White, who finds an open lane and makes no mistake. St. Joe's in control early in this one. Then it's Spoonhunter's turn as he works his way through a trio of stars and gets it to go off the glass. That opened up a 17-2 lead for the Guardians. There were some bright spots for Bethlehem, however. Aranda tracks down the loose ball and looks to run the floor. Gets it back and then makes the nice dish to Joseph Jumo, who finishes it off. And then it's Joshua Lapira with a quick catch and release to pull the Stars 3 points closer. Aranda again looking to attack, trying to keep his team in it. Nice baseline drive past a pair of defenders. Then late in the game, Peter Herron comes up with the loose ball, runs the length of the floor, and makes a nice move along the way for 2 more. But in the end, St. Joe's just too much for the Stars. The Guardians punched their ticket to BRIT 50 with an 80-56 victory. Okpoko led the way with 17 points in the game. Spoonhunter had 15 of his own for St. Joseph, while Aranda finished up with 16 in the loss for Bethlehem. The nightcap featured 2 of the more experienced teams in tournament history, the Bishop James Mahoney Saints and the Holy Cross Crusaders. In fact, if Holy Cross were to be knocked out in this game, it would mark only the second time in history they would not appear in BRIT. First quarter action, Brian Ahat from Cross disrupts the dribble of Brantwood. Ahat comes away with the ball, and although his initial shot is blocked, he stays with it and finishes off the play. Then Ahat almost forces another turnover, but Bishop James, able to maintain the possession, leads to an easy 2 underneath for Hunter White. Then the Saints go on the run and Holy Cross gets caught out of position, as Wood has the wide open look from the corner. He takes advantage of the opportunity and hits for 3, And in the early going at least, this looked like it would be a close one. Saints continuing to make things happen in transition. This time it's grade 10 player Drew Rysavi on the run. He finishes it off with a nice underhand scoop shot that opened up an early 5-point BGAM lead. Cross would have an answer, however. Ramsey Durbus up top directing traffic, and then he decides just to take care of things himself. He hits all net for 3. And then it's some nice ball movement by Cross. Durbus ends up feeding it down low to Benjamin Carlson, who puts it away. And then with time winding down in the first, looks like Cross may have practiced this one a few times. Mitch Wagner gets it into the front court, turns around to find Durbus, and he hits for 3 as the buzzer sounds. Crusaders take a 4-point lead into the second. And that would grow as the outside game continued to serve Cross well. This time it's Josh Rutten hitting for 3. And then it's Musanto Mwango with a nice little spin move to increase the Crusader advantage to 7. BJM doing all they can to hang in there against their rivals, Rysavi doing it from outside this time. On to the second half, and Holy Cross starts to pull away. Rysavi loses the handle, Baha Salma there to scoop it up. He runs the floor to make it 35-21 Crusaders. Tony Parada had the brightest shoes on the floor. That must have made it easy for Benjamin Carlson to find him. He hits for 3 on the open look. And then Durbus really started to heat up late. This 3 among the long shots he hit in the fourth, opening the lead to 17. Hunter White did all he could to keep the Saints in this one. He makes a nice move to cut through the D for 2. But it would be too little too late as Holy Cross keeps their BRIT tradition alive with a 60-43 win. Durbus scored a third of those with 20, while Mwango ended up with 11. White would finish up with 16 for BJM. And so Cross will open up tournament play on Thursday against Pitt Meadows out of BC, just after St. Joseph plays Winnipeg's Garden City. And Marion Graham gets their tournament underway Friday, taking on Notre Dame out of Ottawa. As always, we will have coverage of the BRIT cheerleading competition, third place game, and championship final right here on Shaw TV.